Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Saraswatyai Namaha. Om Sadgurubhyo Namaha. Shri Arunachalam. Shri Arunachalam. Shri Arunachalam. Dear devotees and seekers all over the world, good morning, Hari Om, and greetings from Arunachala. Today, we are going to see a question from Mrs. Sharada Shyam. She did her B.Tech in Information Technology and was working in Wipro. Now at present, she is a homemaker. She is from Chengalpattu, South India. Her question: Swamiji, I have a question. My sons will soon be entering into the teenage. They may be occupied by unwanted thoughts due to their bodily changes or misguided by social media or society or by any means. Already I could see some slight changes in them. I know that everything happens according to the Lord's will. But as a parent, how can I or we guide them past this tricky stage in brahmacharya phase? This is her question. Actually, Sharada is having two very young children. It may take another few years for them to enter into teenage. But I can understand her concern. Sharada, I can understand the concern of parents like you. It is natural that when the children grow and approach teenage, nowadays even much before, may have certain thoughts associated with their growing up. As you mentioned, due to their bodily changes. They may become curious and they tend to have certain attraction towards the opposite sex. As you rightly pointed out, with the exposure to smartphones and data, they have got everything, good, bad, and dangerous at their fingertips. Nobody can do anything about it. You may try blocking or denying access to certain things. I tell you, they are smarter than all of us, would find a way to access them if they really want to. This is a real challenge. You don't know what they are doing, with whom they are chatting, or what they are up to actually. They may not like, even if you want to know, as they feel it as infringement into their privacy. Can you imagine this? Nowadays, children feeling they also need their privacy. Very strange. What can you do? You cannot say, I am not going to buy them a phone or give them access to data. Literally, it is not possible. Nowadays, it has become an indispensable tool for learning in their academic pursuits too. In the given circumstances, it is really hard to bring the children up with basic discipline and cultural values. That is why Gurudev Swami Chinmayanji says, catch them young. I repeat, catch them young. Meaning, when they are very young, say in their first or second grade, we should start training them in our cultural values and tradition, giving them as much right inputs as possible. For Prahalada and all, it was even before, when he was in the womb of his mother. They call it prenatal education. Actually, Narada started it. Tulsidas ji in Tulsi Ramayana instructs how a child should be brought up. He says, till 5 years, lalayet. He says, till 5 years, lalayet, meaning you should shower all love and affection and pamper the child. At that stage, no disciplining. It is just showering all the love and affection. And then he says, 5 to 15, tadayet. It's very strange. He uses this word, tadayet. Literal meaning is beat them up. Actually, it is not beating up. In the Western world, they would put you in jail. In fact, it means discipline them. Yes, this is the stage from 5 to 15. They are actually available to us, at least to some extent. So this is the age we have to really discipline the child. Those days, our grandfathers used to say, spare the rod and spoil the child. It's not beating the children up. It is disciplining them. So, 5 to 15, tadayet, means discipline them. And from 16 onwards, mitravat acharet, meaning treat them as your own friend. This is very important. When they enter into adolescent, they become very rebellious. They think that they know everything. Since they have Google in hand, they think they know everything. So, mitravat acharet. Treat them as your friend. This is how it should be done. That is why, in good olden days, the child at the age of 7 is initiated into Gayatri Mantra through Upanayana and sent to Gurukula to study under a teacher with strict discipline and moral values. He has got no other job there except to study and fine-tune his mind. Think, what a wonderful setup it was. But alas, now we lost everything. Okay, now what we can do? We can give them nutritious food and good education that everybody gives. Apart from that, we have to expose them to good habits and cultural values from the very tender age. This is very important. That is why Gurudev Swami Chinmayananji, a far-sighted visionary, started Balvihar classes for children. Once in a week at least, children should learn to chant some shlokas, hear some good stories about great personalities like Chhatrapati Shivaji, Swami Vivekananda and others. Imbibe cultural values and noble ideas and grow as wonderful children of a great Rishi Parampara. This we must encourage. If we don't have such classes in our vicinity, we have to start one and shape hundreds of children along with our own. In Western world, it is very heartening to see that Chinmaya Balavihar is a great hit. Indian parents are very grateful to Pujya Gurudev for this. We have to instill in them Shraddha Bhakti, meaning devotion to the Lord, even at the tender age. We can do regular pujas at our homes, wherein they also participate. We can celebrate important festivals. explain them the significance, and train them to sing bhajan kirtans on the Lord. This we must do because it gives them a grounding in our culture and make them appreciate the existence of a higher power to which they can hold on when they grow up. We can encourage them to study good books, watch thought-provoking programs in TV and YouTube, and teach them Itihasas, Puranas, and Bhagavad Gita especially, which are treasure house of knowledge. We should kindle their thoughts and encourage them to think independently. We should not spoon feed them. In Tamil there is a saying, Etu Churakkai Karikku Udavadu. We should not spoon feed them. We should help them so that they will think independently. By doing all these, don't imagine children are going to escape from the treacherous tentacles of the modern world. No. They would secretly explore and even stealthily indulge and at times get into serious trouble too. Understand, these are all natural struggles while growing up. There is nothing strange or bad about it. Patiently handle them. Discuss with them. Try to understand their world through their minds. Wherever possible, help them to see things as they are. Encourage them always. Do not belittle them or put them down in front of others. Do not make them feel guilty. Let them fall and let them get up and walk. Let them learn their own lessons. Do not always go behind them. Let them know you are there whenever needed. This we must do. If you are a good parent, then the child or youngster should always feel free to discuss with you anything and everything under the sun. Even about his crushes, about the wrong thoughts passing in his or her minds. I always tell parents, whatever may be the problem between you and your children, never ever close the channel of communication with your children. I repeat this is very, very important. Whatever may be the problem between you and your children, never ever close the channel of communication with your children. If you close the channel, he may try to open the channel of communication elsewhere, which may not be healthy. At times, it may destroy him completely. As a family, everybody should be able to talk and discuss freely everything without any fear or reservation. That is a healthy family. I can tell you my own personal experience. When I was growing up, my mother was my very good friend. I can discuss with her anything and everything. She gives me a patient hearing. And she helps me to think in the right way. She never ever discouraged me or made me feel guilty. So this is very important. The great masters, the great thinkers, they have said, their mothers were a great influence while they were growing up. Therefore, Sharada, it is in your hands actually. Swami Vivekananda says, strength is life, weakness is death. I again repeat. Swami Vivekananda says, strength is life, weakness is death. You should help your children to be strong physically, mentally, and intellectually. Put them into a sport or two. Encourage them to hit gym regularly. Teach them martial arts. It is not enough they are good. They should be mentally tough and intellectually sharp too. They should not be touch me not type. They should not be cowards. They should stand on their own legs and live their own lives. Have you ever seen a bird or an animal going behind their younger ones after a particular stage? Never. We as humans only go behind our children even when they are 40, telling them, do this, don't do this, etc., etc. In this, I appreciate Westerners. They allow their younger ones to live their life. So they become adults, strong and independent, following their own heart. So, Sharada, please don't go behind them always. Help them to be strong. Let them face their life. Let them live their lives. And let them face the consequences. That is the way to make them strong. Always remember, the children are born through you and not to you. Khalil Gibran in Prophet makes a wonderful statement. Always remember, the children are born through you, not to you. Meaning, they are different jivas who have come into this world through you to walk their own paths and reach their own destination. You can only play your role. You cannot change anything. Please understand, you can only play your role. You cannot change anything. Just accept life as it comes and let everybody free to live their own lives and die their own deaths. That is all. Now moving on to the second question from one Mr. Damodaran, part of our youth group. He is also an IT professional from Chennai. His question: Hari Om Swamiji, the quality of vairagya or perseverance has decreased with so much of technological advancements, as it is causing a lot of distractions. How can youth especially do any work with single-pointed focus and with full attention? A very, very relevant question. Damo, I would like to tell you only one thing. The remote is in your hands. Is that not so? Every gadget comes with a button to switch off. Is it not? Learn to switch off while you work, or at least put it in silent mode. Can't you? Learn to keep your mind where your hands are at work. It is just training of the mind. That is all. Try. It is very much possible. Yes, I appreciate. It is very, very hard for the youngsters nowadays with so much of tempting distractions. But if you want to achieve greatness, you have to impose some self-discipline from within. So the easy way is to switch off, or at least put it in silent mode, and learn to keep your mind where your hands are at work. It is only the training of the mind. Try. It is possible. Om Tat Sat.